Bharat, thanks for doing this. Sure. The median household income in this country right now is roughly $67,000, which means that this is going to go for those up to $125,000. Those individuals are already making individually almost twice the median household income in this country. What do you say to those critics who say, you're not just helping the middle class, though I understand 90% will be making under $75,000, you're still helping what is a smaller percentage, but a significant percentage of individuals who most Americans would view as making a lot of money?
Sure. So look, in our view, as you noted, nearly 90% of the benefits go to people making under $75,000 a year. And our view is that the folks that you mentioned, under $125,000, they are middle class families, and I think that they would widely be considered as such. And look, I want to be totally clear about this point.
$125,000 or $250,000. Would you view that as a middle class family,
Sure.
A family that makes under $250,000?
Absolutely. Look, the key cutoff here is that nobody in the top 5%, whether they're in an individual income or household income, is going to get a dollar. And look, it's extremely consistent with what the president has said on the tax side. Now, on the tax side, he said that nobody making under $400,000 a year should face a tax increase. So the economic story of this country over the last couple of decades, if we're going to look at it, is that there's been a relatively small sliver of folks who have done extremely well, the top 1%, top 5% or so. And our goal was to make sure that people below that, the bottom 95%, get a little bit more relief, get a little bit more breathing room, and that's exactly what this policy does. But by the way, targeted even more narrowly than that, primarily, overwhelmingly, to people making under $75,000 a year.
And to follow up, if I can quickly, the White House yesterday was pretty vocal on Twitter, which it isn't always, criticizing some of the critics of this program, Marjorie Taylor Greene, Matt Gaetz, among them, saying how much money they received in PPP loans in the past. I think you would agree that there is a difference between a loan program as it existed, which was conceived to be the PPP program that was conceived to be forgivable, assuming you spent a majority, I think 80%, on the payroll, as opposed to these loans, which were for individuals with expectation when they made money, they'd be paying it back. So is that a fair comparison, and why?
Yeah, we absolutely think it's a fair comparison, and here's why. So, since last July, we have forgiven, under the statutory terms of the PPP program, more than $350 billion worth of loans. Right? Those are loans that the government has forgiven, turned into grants. And those are loans, by the way, of up to $10 million per business owner. Now look, we believe that providing support to small businesses is the right thing to do. We didn't design PPP. Maybe we would have designed it a little bit differently if we were in charge. But broadly speaking, providing support to small business is a priority of the president. But look, has any Republican in the last year stood up and said, inflation is really high, you guys should stop providing this loan forgiveness to PPP recipients. You should slow it down, or you should change the rules because it's unfair that these people should get up to $10 million in grants. No, in fact, it's the opposite. The pressure that we've gotten from Republicans on the Hill has consistently been do this faster, make it easier for people to get forgiveness. So our view is, why is there a double standard here? Why is it, from the perspective of Republicans, great to forgive a loan of up to $10 million to a business owner, but if we want to provide $10,000 or $20,000 in loan relief to a teacher or a bus driver or a nurse, all of a sudden it's socialism? That's what doesn't compute from our view. We don't think that that's consistent.
Justin?